What?
I just love you. You could clean it out. So that yogurt didn't last long. Do you want a spoonful? You can use that one to eat with. Do you want a spoonful of strawberry jam or do you want maple syrup?
Spoonful of jam.
Alright, Leroy picked maple syrup, but he had about half a cup dumped into his... You want more than that? Not too much. It's jam. Be too sweet. Sit down and stir it up. He had about, I don't know, a lot of syrup in his, so I dumped some out before he put the yogurt in. And he probably did like a tablespoon still of syrup. It was too much. But anyways, their cold lunch, they'll usually finish eating whatever's in that, then have a snack. While I'm busy making supper that hopefully someone will eat. Do you have those words when your kids are little that they mispronounce that you sort of love? Eli's newest one is pop it. You think you know what it means? It's puppet. Puppet. But he calls it a poppet. Alright, so we're having pork chops, rice, and I think green beans for supper. I just need something really simple. So make my rice in the Instapot. I'll start it over here, I think. Alright, you guys, don't come after me today. Matt and I are still sick, trying to get better, but I'm not going to rinse my rice. I just want to get this started, move on with my day. Why do you rinse rice? I didn't even know. Are there contaminants in rice? Does it make it a different texture if I don't rinse it? What's the real reasoning? So my Instapot rice is just 4 cups of rice. I use jasmine rice most often. That's usually what I have. And then I'm going to go see if I have some broth in the root cellar if you want to come with. Just remembered there's something else I want to do easy and quick later today. This. You know what that is? That. Let's see. We got some broth down here. Hoping for 2 quarts. Oh, I've got bags on the floor. Alright, we got 1. Hey, turn that back on. Some green beans. Oh yeah, there's more back here. 2. So I'm grabbing a lot of jars from the root cellar today. 2 jars of chicken broth, because usually I'll cook a chicken before I make rice in the week, and then I'll use that broth. But we've had chili this week, and mashed potatoes, and like a beef gravy, so I haven't cooked any chicken. We haven't had any all week. And since we're doing pork chops tonight, I think this chicken broth will be good with the rice. I could do pork broth, but I'm down to 1 quart. And then I'm going to take out a quart of green beans and at least 1 of these pints of apple pie filling to make an apple pie tonight. And I'll show you how I'm going to make that really simple. Can I carry all this? Should I bring a container next time? Perhaps. I might need to come back down and get another pint of apple pie filling. Just depends on what dish I'm going to use. So Matt and I have totally different perspectives on our root cellar. It's kind of interesting. So I'm of the mindset of we make it, we eat it, we use it up, and then we start again and we do it all over. So you can tell there's a lot of stuff still in there, but we've also eaten a lot. So Matt is more of the mindset that we stock all this up and it's great and it's good, but it'd be cool if we could have something stocked for, say, like 2 years and then not do it 1 year and then focus on other things and then just go back and forth. And I understand, but just the way my brain works, I have a hard time processing that. So in theory, I mean, this is our pizza sauce shelf, so I could totally slow down how much pizza we're eating and make that last another year, because we've probably used about half at this point. But at this point, we're about 6 months before, you know, in theory I'm making more, because we made some of this in September and we're in March right now. I'm about halfway through the year, so I think we're doing all right, and I kind of like that. Yeah, I definitely will probably want to plant tomatoes every year, even though they're a pain every year. And there's things, you know, it is what it is. I might end up with extra pickles this year, but really we're down to our last container of fermented pickles, and then we're gonna move on to our canned one. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do eat most of these, especially in the summer. You eat a lot more pickles. And then same with our green beans. We haven't been eating them a ton, but our kids don't love green beans, so I just try to stick them in like 1 meal a week. And that was kind of our goal, was to have a jar a week. And I think we were a little shy of it actually, so I don't know. I just love to hear your thoughts, kind of how you guys plan out what's in your root cellar. And we are really good about actually eating our food. I know that can be a problem for some people. I do have some marinade that I don't really care for. It's almost like a jelly. We'll put it with cream cheese, and that's, I think, approaching 2, maybe even 3 years. But other than that, pretty much everything is from within the last year or so, and we're pretty good about eating it. But yeah, I don't want that to limit us. So if for some reason it does, I'd love to just hear your take on it all. So I added 2 quarts of that chicken broth, stirred it up, and then we're just going to do pressure cook for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to do a fast release where I open the valve. So I make sure when I'm doing rice, I have my valve somewhere where it's not going to touch my cabinets. So I turned my oven on for our pork chops. But since everything else is kind of a no-brainer, except for dessert, I'm going to just kind of pan fry them first, and then I'm going to throw them in the oven. So I'm putting a little lard in my pan. Alright, so I've got this first pan ready to go in the oven. I think it looks pretty good. And then the second one, it's a little slower on that little burner, but got that one going too. But I said I was going to make dessert and make it kind of fast. And here is how I do that. So, hold out apple pie filling, because I'm going to make an apple pie. And last night before I went to sleep, I made sure everything was out that we would need for food today. Obviously I didn't go down to the root cellar, I know it's there. But I pulled out some sweet pie crust that it looks like I made back in October. So I just wrapped this in saran wrap, and then I did vacuum seal it so it'll last a little bit longer. So whenever I'm making crust, I like to make a few, put them all in the freezer, so that on days like this, when I want to make a quick dessert because we haven't had something sweet in a while, I can.
There's something on.
Does it fit me okay?
Yeah. Look at mine. It doesn't go down some more. Your head is too big.
My head's too big. Try yours. Oh yeah, that fits you. Now you can do anything. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Alright, my littles ran down to get another jar of apple pie filling because I think we're going to need another one. When Leroy's making pie, he'll make some fun things for the top of it with the scraps. But when I'm making pie, I like to do something that I remember doing as a kid. And Matt and I have the same memory of this because he did it with his mom and I think his grandma, and I did it with my mom and probably my grandma too. So I'll take these scraps, there's not really a whole bunch, but I'm gonna cut them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, wanted to lick the fork.
Yeah, me.
That's you?
Yeah, me. Because we did it because I don't.
Did you guys shut off the light and shut the door?
Yeah. Can we reset the door? Let me go see.
Okay.
I get with the spoon when you're done.
It's a fork. Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay. Go fast.
Go fast.
Yeah. I'm waiting.
You're waiting.
Yeah.
How was it?
Good.
Good. Thanks for checking for me. So I'm going to cut these up into small little pieces. Thank you. And throw them in the oven when we take the pork out. First, we're going to add a little cinnamon and sugar. Sometimes it's the simple things that bring us so much joy. All right, so we've got our pork chops, our rice, our beans, and our sauces. And I'll show you dessert when we're done eating.
Hang on to him, your feet would drag right next to him. And then go over to the living room and lay down so you would still be in a position where you're laying on him. And you always watched over you. It's really cool.
It looks pretty good. How was supper, guys?
It was alright. I've had better.
You ready for some pie, or should I just save this for me then?
I'll say that for you.
Oh, thanks. Glad you got to see us again. Bye.
That was